Okay, fine. So we'll discuss all these things later whenever it is required. Okay, directly now I'm jumping to the concept called tables. Okay, so we last class we already discussed, right? So which database we are using, which type of database? RDBMS, right? Relational database management system we are using. So if it is RDBMS, how we are going to store the data? I mean, in the format of table, right? So if you want to store any data in the database, first you have to create a table. Okay, so how to create a table and what are all the things required, that also we discussed, right? So that is nothing but data modeling. Okay, so that will be done by mostly DBA. Okay, but now we'll see directly with the table. Okay, so we have some information. For example, you can take same bank example. Okay, and I want to store that customers information in table. Okay, so for example, I have, so how you will store the data in the table? In the form of columns only, right? Because
Columns and rows.
but rows and
columns.
So rows are no problem. Okay, so first I need column names. So whatever that information I have, that bank information, right? Customer ID, customer name, account number, okay, and account opening date. Okay, so all these nothing but information, whatever I have, first I have to split into columns wise. I have to separate that information as columns wise. Okay, so after separating them as a columns wise, I can create a table as per that columns. And how many columns maximum I can write in a table? 1000. Yeah.
1000.
Yeah. So for example, I'm just taking 2-3 columns now. I want to store this information. Okay, customer ID, customer name, okay, and followed by account. We'll write opened,
Friends.
account opened. Okay, we'll just write account opened. Okay, it's nothing but a date column when the account opened. Okay, otherwise you can write fully, no problem. Account open date. So these 3 columns I'm taking as of now. You can take all remaining columns also, no problem. Just for example, I'm taking 3 columns now. I want to store these 3 columns of information in the database. Of course, in the database in the form of table, I need to create a table. Okay, so to create any table, okay, to create any table, we need a name for that, right? So
Yes, sir.
what is the table name I need now here? You can write any table name meaningfully. For example, this is related to customers, right? So I'm writing customer info. Okay, otherwise you can write any meaningful name, no problem. But it should have maximum how many characters?
30 characters.
30 characters. Okay, fine. So how to create this table? To create this table or to add any extra columns or to make any changes to this table structure, for all these things, we have something called sub languages here. Okay, in SQL only, we have some statements here, or also you can call sub languages. Okay, so what is that? DDL. Okay, stands for data definition language. DDL, data definition language. So what is the purpose of this language? To define the structure of database object. Okay, for example, in our case, we are going to create a table. Okay, to define the structure or to create the structure of a table, you can use this language. Okay, and what is the purpose of this? Not only for table. Okay, so any database object, like table, we have some database objects. I'll tell you slowly. Okay, but as of now, what we are discussing about one database object called table. Okay, so what is the database object we are learning now? Table. Okay, so to create the table structure, okay, or to modify the table structure, or to remove the table structure, or if you want to remove that complete table from the database, what is the language we have to use? DDL, data definition language. So under this data definition language, we have one command called create. So the word itself we can identify, right? Create means to create new one, new DB object. Okay, so means to create any new table, you can go for create. Alter, you know, right? Alteration is nothing but doing some modifications. Okay, doing some modifications to the new one or existing one. If you want to do any cloth alterations, what does that mean? First of all, you should have a cloth, right? So means it should be there, then only you can do alterations. For a new one, you are just creating a new means not required. Okay, so alterations means the object should be existed, and if you want to do any modifications, then you can do it using alter command. So what is the purpose of alter now? To
Modification.
yeah, for modifying existing DB object structure. Okay, so here again under alter we have some commands we'll see later. And truncate, it's nothing kind of a formatting kind of option, we'll discuss later. Formatting table, you know, right, what is mean by formatting your computer or mobile? Same way. Rename is nothing but to change the name of a DB object. So if you want to change the name of your table, you can go for a rename. Draw, so if you don't want that table or the database object, then you can drop. Okay, nothing but to remove the DB object from database. Okay, so I'm just removing that object from database. It's clear till now. We'll discuss everything again with examples. Okay, don't worry. So once the structure is done, we can load the data, right? We can store the data. Once structure is done, we can store the data. So to store the data, we have a different language called DML, data manipulation language. We'll discuss later. Okay, and once the data is there, if you want to see that data, we can go for third language here, DQL or DRL, data query language or data retrieval language. Okay, we'll see these two things later. First, we'll go back to DDL again. Okay, so what is the requirement now? I want to create a table. So what was the table name we discussed? Cust info, right? And the column names were 3 columns I thought to create. So what I'm going to do now, the command is, what is the command I have to use to create a new one? Create only. Okay, create. So what I'm going to create?
Customer information.
No, that is the table name. That is the table name. So what you are going to create? You are going to create a table, right? Okay. So mention that table name, because I told, so we can create any new database object. Okay, like table, we can create some another database objects also, that we'll discuss later. But as of now, we are discussing about table. Okay, so I have to tell Oracle Engine which DB object I'm going to create. Okay, so I'm creating table. What is the name? Cust info. Okay, and now I'll write the column names. At the end of statement, I'm writing semicolon that indicates termination of the statement or end of the statement. Okay, so wherever I'm keeping the semicolon means Oracle Engine will understand, like, so statement got ended. Okay, now what are the column names we decided? Actually, customer ID. Okay, and customer name. Okay, and account opened date. 3 columns. Okay, so now this is done, right? Perfect. I'm just going to create this or executing this in environment. Okay, so I just want to open a new connection so that you will understand. So when you are opening SQL developer, so I'm showing this now on SQL developer. Okay, so next time we'll see in another environments also. So this is SQL developer. So I'm giving some name, meaningful name to this connection. That's it. Okay, you can give any name. Okay, so let's see, this class is related to DDL concept, right? So DDL demo or DDL something. Okay, now username. So we already discussed about it in first class, right? So you have to provide your authentication details like username, password, and which database you are connecting. These three things you have to provide. So username, I'm just writing here, SYS, okay, and the password is same, I think here. And already I told you, this is the admin role. Okay, so whenever you are installing your Oracle database, so by default, one username will come like SYS, okay, and it will ask you for the password to enter. You can enter any password and remember it. Okay, so here the username is sys. He is not a normal user. Okay, sys means nothing but a system. Okay, system administrator, nothing but a DBA. So the role you have to select here as a sys DBA. Here role as a sys DBA. If you are a normal user, let it be default. Okay, so now sys is the DBA. So I'm selecting as a sys DBA. If you want, you can save the password. Okay, and basic connection type. So you have to mention all these three details we discussed already now. So what is the host name, what is the port number, and what is the SID? So these details your project people will share with you. Okay, and you can use them to connect that particular database. Fine, but instead of remembering all these three details, like for example, if you have 10, it will be difficult now. So then you can choose here TNS, so that here some name will come, alias name kind of. Okay, so some meaningful name will come here instead of writing those three. Okay, so here it is not coming. In next class, I will show you how to connect with TNS. But as of now, I'm going with the basic now. I mentioned here local host and port number 1521, SID, XE. If you want, you can test the connection, whether it is working or not. Success. Now I'm going to connect. Okay, let this get connected, we'll see. Okay, so a new white page opened, right? So I already copied that statement and I pasted now here. Clear? So here, if you see, some are there in blue color, correct now? So all those blue color ones are nothing but keywords, Oracle reserved keywords. Okay, create is the command. Table is also kind of a keyword. So all those will be appear in blue color. Remaining things are my data. Okay, my own data. So that's why that is in black color. Now I'm just trying to execute. Okay, so what I'm doing to execute it, I'm selecting that entire statement. Okay, I'm selecting entire statement, executing. There is an icon called this one, right? This first icon. You can see this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, run statement. Okay, run statement, and there is something in bracket. What is that? Again, I'm going there. See what is there in the bracket?
Control plus enter.
Okay, so instead of clicking on this icon, what you can do, you can click on control plus enter. So both together you have to press. With one finger, press control. With the second finger, press enter. Now I did same. I did control plus enter. Okay, and seems something message came to us. What is that? Error starting at line 1 in command. Of course, there is only one line and there is a error. What is the error? You can see this error report. It's very simple. Okay, so there is an error report. You can just read that error so that we can easily rectify the error. So what is that telling? You need to specify the data type for this column. Okay, so what it is asking?
Data type.
Okay, data type. Also, you can see this. There is a cause and there is the action. What is the reason? The required data type for the column is missing. Okay, fine. And the action, what is the action you have to take? Specify the required data type. Fine. So finally, what is that means? It is asking you to specify the data type for each column. Okay, so what is meant by data type? Okay, so data type is nothing but type of data. Okay, so what is meant by data type? It's simple, just type of data. Okay, that means you have to tell to the Oracle engine which type of data you are going to store in that column. For example, here the first column is customer ID, right? So you have to say now which type of data you are going to store in this column. Customer ID means which type of data will be there? IDs means Mostly numbers.
Numbers.
Okay, so I'm just writing number. We'll discuss about this data types concept in a next class, but as of now, I'm just writing. Okay, number. Now, customer name means all
Letters.
names, characters. Okay, characters will be there. So there is a data type. I can write as a char. Okay, and account opened date. Okay, so means it's a date type, right? So I'm writing simply date.
Date.
Is clear? Any confusion? So we'll discuss about what is number, what is char, what is date. Okay, so what is exactly about data types we'll discuss in detail in next class. But as of now, just to complete this example, I'm using this 3. Okay, so meaningful, right? You can understand what is this number. So if I specify the data type as a number to one column, means what is that means? You can store all numbers data in that column. Okay, if it is a char data type means you can store all characters data in that column. Okay, if it is a date data type means you can store all the dates data in that column. Okay, as of now, remember like that. Is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now again I selected that statement. Okay, and I'm pressing Control plus Enter on my keyboard. You can see the message now, new message on the bottom. You can see, right? Table cast info created.
Created.
Okay, now I want to see this structure. Really it is created or no? Okay, so then there is a command for you, describe. So these are all nothing, very simple English words. Okay, describe means that is, you know, right? What is the meaning of describing? Okay, so same thing here also. I'm asking Oracle Engine, please describe my table. So what is the table object name? Cast info. That's it. Control Enter. Okay, you can see the structure in the bottom. Okay, in the display output window, it is showing, right? All the 3 column names followed by data types.
Data
You can
type.
see this. This is the type. Type is nothing but data type. Number, char, date. But can you observe one thing here? What is the difference to my statement and in this output? Okay, I given char. I given data type as a char for custom name column to store names. Okay, but here additionally came one thing in the brackets for char. Okay, what is that number? 1. Okay, that is nothing but size. Okay, so size means here it is telling 1. By default, it will take size as a 1. Understood? So if you are not specifying any size for that data type, then by default that is taking as a 1. We'll discuss all these data type related things tomorrow again, but as of now, it's taken by default as a 1. Okay, so means you can store only 1 letter names in that column now. It's clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Instead of writing DESC completely, you can also just write first 4 letters, DESC, that is fine. And followed by the cast info. This is also fine. Okay, so DESC followed by cast info. This is also fine. Okay, this also will give same result. So clear right till now?
Yes,
Any
sir.
confusion about creating a table? So this is wrong. So I'm writing this. No confusion, right? Okay. So now we did a mistake, correct? What is that mistake? So for char, I have not specified any size, right? So by default that took as a 1. So you can store only 1 letter names in that column now. So definitely customer names means it will be not with 1 letter, right? It will have multiple 5 letters, 6 letters, 10 letters like that, right? So I want to change the size for this column. Hope you understand what I'm telling. I'm clearing this output. Let me show you again. Okay, so now it is having 1 as the size. So we can store only names like A, B, C, D, single letters. Okay, so if I want to store some names which is having more than 1 character, it will throw error. So what I have to do then? I have to increase the size for this column, right? So now it's already created. If I try to do this, for example, I'm going to increase the size like this, and I'm executing now. What happened? So it's simply telling name is already used by an existing object. So means we already created the table. So we can't create same table again, right? You can create a new table now by giving a different name, no problem. Now, if we want to create, you can create by writing cast info 1, no problem. But this is not the requirement, right? So what is my requirement? So whatever the table I already created, so for that table, I have to increase the size. I have to increase the size for that customer name column. Okay, so then we have one concept, right? Alterations. You can do alterations now. Okay, so what I want to do now, I want to increase the size for that char column. So then concept is alter. So I written a command alter there. What I'm going to alter? Table. Okay, which table you are going to alter? Because there will be so many tables, right, in the database. So you have to specify. I'm going to alter this table, cast info. What is the operation under alteration? Like you are
Customer
adding
name.
something? No, I'm asking, you are going to add something to the table, or you are going to modify something? Okay, like that I'm asking. Okay, so now I'm going to modify something, right? Already char is the data type, but I'm going to change that. Okay, modify. What is the column name? Customer name. So the data type was CHR. Okay, and I'm just increasing the size now to 10. Is clear? Any confusion in the syntax? The syntax is very meaningful. I'm altering a table, cast info. Okay, what kind of alteration? I'm modifying. What you are modifying? Customer name column, character data type, and 10 is the size. If you want, you can change this data type also. Okay, so means this is already char. If you want to keep it as a char, that's okay. If you want to use any different data type also, okay. So means using this operation modify, you can change your data type. Okay, change your data type as well as the size. So what is the purpose of this modify? To modify the data type. Okay, you can modify the data type or size. Okay, so now as of now, I'm just increasing the size, means I'm modifying the size. Control enter. You can see the message at the bottom. Table altered. If you want to, you can see the structure. Describe table name. Control enter. Now you can see the character followed by 10. Okay, now so now the same way I want to change the data type also. Okay, data type and the size, or only the data type, anything is fine for the same column. Okay, so what I'm doing for customer name column, the data type is char. So there is one more data type called varchar2. Okay, we'll discuss about all these things tomorrow, don't worry. Okay, similarly char. Okay, similarly to the char, there is one more data type called varchar2. Okay, so I'm using that. So what is the purpose of this varchar2? Same, if I specify the data type as varchar2 means you can store all characters data in the column, same like a char only. But what is the difference between these two? I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay, so very important interview question. If you want, you can note it down somewhere. Okay, very important interview question. What is the difference between char and varchar or varchar2? Okay, so now as of now, I'm modifying this data type as well as size also. You can do that, no problem. You can do together, no problem. Or you can decrease the size, no problem. You can do anything. Okay, control enter. You can see table altered successfully. Let me check the structure again. Control enter. Now you can see the data type became as varchar2 followed by size as a 12. It's clear what is purpose of modify? Okay, so using modify, what can I modify? using modify option, what are all the things I can modify? I can modify,
Customer name.
no, not customer name. I'm asking general way. So this is what modify, right? So what is the purpose of this modify? Using this modify option, I can modify any data type. Okay, so I can modify the data type, not customer name. Customer name is the column name, that's it. Okay, this is not the fixed, right? So this is belongs to our table, that's it. But these options not belongs to only our table. We can use these options anywhere for any tables. Clear, Himaja? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so using this modify, we can modify the data type like this. If you want, you can use char, otherwise you can change this, okay? Or else you can increase the size or decrease the size, that things. Clear now what is modify? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, for example, so now 3 columns there, but I want one more column or 2 more columns to my table. So what I can do? I can, one second. Okay, I can add 2 more columns. So to add any new columns to the existing table, okay, all the alter operations are only to the existing table or existing database object. Okay, to what is the purpose of this? To add new columns to the existing table. Okay, so how can I add? Same way. Now we have 3 columns. Okay, what is the operation we are doing? Alter. Okay, table. I'm altering a table. Which table?
Customer info.
Okay, what is the operation? Add. Now you can write the column names. Like while creating the table, you return right like this: column name followed by data type, column name followed by data type. Okay, same way here also, column name and specify the data type for the column. For example, let's see what we'll write here now. Customer ID is done, customer name is done, account open date is done. We'll write account number. Okay, account number is the column name, and account number means which type of data will be there? Mostly numbers only. So I'm specifying the data type as number. If you want to add one more column, yes, fine. Place comma to separate and write other thing. And location, we'll write location. Okay, LOCATION, location. Location means where the bank is there. Okay, varchar. I'm writing varchar. So for varchar 2, size is mandatory. You should write some size. Okay, for only when you are writing char, then only if you are not specifying, by default that will take as a 1. But if it is a varchar 2, then you should write the size. Okay, so I'm writing now varchar 2 of 10. Fine, no? I'm going to execute it. Let's see. Selected, complete statement, pressing Control Enter. I got some error. What is that? Invalid alter table option. So what is invalid here? What is missing? So while creating table, I written all the column names. No? So how I written? If it is a 1 column, that's fine. But I written multiple column names. Then what I written? Braces. Right. So here also I'm writing braces now. Understood? Now Control Enter. Table altered. Now you can check the structure, right? How can you describe table name? Control Enter. Now see this. Additionally, 2 more columns added. Also, you have to remember where these columns got added. At the end of all the columns. Okay, not in between, right? So whatever the columns there, after all those columns, these new columns added. Clear now? So only
Yes,
at the end of, only at the end of all the columns only it is possible to add. Clear now? So 2 columns added. So this is the purpose of your add option, to add any new column to the existing table. Right. Now, one column name, I don't want to see it as a with this name. Okay. For example, let's see, account opened date. This something is not meaningful, or location. Okay. So I don't want to see it as a location. I want to see it as a branch. Okay, I want to see this location name as a branch. Okay, means I want to change the column name. Okay, so what we have to do? We have to go for again alteration only. Okay, so what I'm going to do now? Alter table. Okay, which table? Cust info. What is the operation? Rename. Okay, so here we have two rename options. Okay, so one is under alteration, and already we discussed one rename here, right? To change the name of DB object. Name of the DB object means to change the table name. Okay, this rename is to change the table name. Okay, so this one is for column, right? So just to avoid the confusion to the Oracle engine, what we have to write extra? You have to write column because I'm changing the column name. Okay, rename column. So what is the column name? Location. 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 To what I'm going to change now? Branch. That's it. That's it. I'm just changing the name. No data type, no size. I'm not changing anything. I'm just changing name. See, currently what is the data type for location? Varchar to of 10. Varchar to of 10. Same thing will be there for branch also. Okay, control enter. Table altered. Let's see the structure. See, the name got changed to the branch and same data type and same size. Is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now what is the purpose of this rename? Purpose of this rename is to rename the column name.
Location.
No, to rename the column name. I'm asking the option. What is the option purpose? What is the command purpose? Okay, so now there is one more option called a drop. If you want to drop any column, you don't want some columns there in the table. If you want to drop that, you can do that by using drop. Okay, to drop column name. Okay, so for example, I don't want this last two columns or one column. Okay, I don't want this last column, for example, branch. So what I can do? Same way. Alter table. Table name is cust info, and followed by what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop. Okay, so again here we have two options, two drop options. One drop is to drop a column, and another drop is to drop a table. Complete table only will go. Okay, now I'm dropping a column, so I'm writing drop column followed by column name. For example, I'm writing now branch only. You can write any column name, not only the last one. Okay, now I'm writing only the last one. Control enter. So some error. Good. What is that? Cannot drop column from table owned by sys. Understood? Okay, so because sys is nothing but DB. Okay, so what it is asking? So an attempt was made to drop a column from a system table. I already told you, right? System is nothing but kind of a GDB, a DBA here. Okay, it won't allow any other actions. It can create, but okay, it's not asking you to, it's not allowing you to drop this. Okay, so what is the action it is telling? This action is not allowed. Means you can't do here. So you can remember it. Okay, so means there will be some system tables already created, some predefined tables also will be there. You can't do any action on that. Okay, same way here also. Okay, so I'll tell you how to do this later when I connected with a normal user, but this is the option for you to drop a column. Clear till now? Okay, so truncate. So the next option is truncate. Okay, so that is about alteration. Alteration is done. Now the new option is truncate. New command is truncate. So what is the truncate? Truncate is nothing but to format the table. Okay, so what is mean by formatting? So you will do formatting, right, for your mobile or for your computer. So what will happen if you do formatting for your mobile? So complete data will be moved out. Complete data will be moved out and the memory will be free. Same way if you format your hard disk, I mean your computer, what will happen? So complete data, complete files on your computer will be removed. Okay, so hard disk will be free now, means memory will be free now. Understood, right? Same way here also, if you truncate your table, what will happen? So whatever the data is there in the table, that will be completely removed, completely deleted. Understood? So what, for example, I have 100 rows, 100 records in this table. So all 100 records will be deleted from the table. Okay, it's a formatting option. Table will be there. Okay, table will be there, but only data, whatever is there, that will be deleted. Clear? Simply like your hard disk formatting, mobile formatting, pen drive formatting kind of. Is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will tell you one more kind of option to delete the data in next classes, and that is going to be important interview question. Okay, we'll see later. We'll see later again about truncate in next class. Don't worry about that. We already discussed about rename, but that is to rename a column name, right? And this another option is to rename your table name or any database object name. For example, what is our current table name? Cust info, right? Cust info 2, you can write anything. Now I'm writing customer info. I'm changing the name. Okay, if you want, you can check the structure with the cust info, whether it is coming or not. Okay, for cust info, it is coming right now. Okay, now I'm going to change the name got changed, right? So I'm trying to describe the structure with the old table name. See what will happen. What happened? What is the error? Object cust info does not exist. Okay, so means there is no table with the name cust info because we changed it to customer info. So let me write it customer info now. Okay, describe customer info now. Okay, spelling wrong. Okay, right? You can see this same structure, same thing, but the table name got changed as a customer info. Okay, so what is the purpose of this rename? To change the table name or any DB object name. Clear? So the next option is drop. Okay, so what is the purpose of drop? We already discussed one drop. That is to drop a column name, but this drop is to drop complete table. So all the columns, all the data completely will be removed. Okay, so I'm writing drop. You can drop any database object. Now I'm dropping a table, so I written there table, drop table. What is the table name? Cust info. Sorry, not cust info, right? Customer info. Okay, so now control enter. So what happened? Table customer info dropped. Clear? Now, if you want to check, you can check. Control enter, describe. See, customer info also does not exist. So clear right till now? Any question? Any confusion about it? Any confusion till now? No, right? Say yes or no. Any question?
No.
Okay. So try practicing till here. Hope you installed database. If not, try to install it by tomorrow. If you are facing any issue, let me know. I'll help you to install. Okay. So any questions till now, let me know. Otherwise, we'll close the session. Okay, here, and we'll continue tomorrow about DML. Okay, how to insert the data. Today we discussed how to create the structure and how to modify the structure. Okay, and what are the operations we can perform on structure. So nothing but we discussed like So how to define a object, database object? Nothing but we discussed today how to define a table. Okay, so after defining the table, I mean after defining the structure of the table, how to insert the data, how to update the data, how to delete the data. So insert means to insert a new record. Okay, to insert new record. So update means to update existing record or to modify existing record. Record is nothing but a row. Okay, delete, nothing but to delete the rows or records. Merge is nothing but a combination of insert and update. I'll tell you this later. Okay, combination of insert and update. We'll see later. But we already discussed about one option to delete the data today. What is that option? Just now we discussed, right, one option to delete the data from a table. What is that? No, delete the data, only data. Okay, what is that? Truncate, formatting the table, right? So what is that formatting the table means? To delete the data completely. Okay, complete data will be deleted from the table. Okay, so when you do truncating, okay, so delete also same. It is also deleting the rows. So the very important interview question will be, what is the difference between, okay, truncate and delete? What is the difference between truncate and delete? Very important interview question. Okay, so we'll see after discussing this DML concepts tomorrow. We'll see that important interview questions also. Okay, so clear right till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so try practicing it today itself. Okay, otherwise at least read all these commands whatever we discussed today. At least read them. Okay, by heart them if required with the syntaxes. This syntax is nothing. Okay, how I'm writing this? For example, truncate table name. This table name is not fixed. Okay, this is my table name, right? You can write any other table name also in this place, right? So means you have to read truncate table, for example, this table name. So this is the syntax actually. Understood, right? So like this you have to by hand. Clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. I'll share this document with you, and you have to connect with me on Zoom. Okay, so for today I can send you on WhatsApp, but you have to connect with me on Zoom. Okay, so you installed Zoom, right, on your mobile or in your laptop. Okay, so once you installed Zoom, there will be a chat icon. Okay, chat, CHAT, chatting. So there, search for a mail ID. I'll ping that mail ID for you in WhatsApp. Search for that mail ID and ping me there. Hi. Okay, I'll send you there only. Okay, so you will come to know how to use that Zoom and all. Okay, clear now? Fine. So we'll continue this class tomorrow by same time, 11 a.m. IST mostly. Okay, if any change is there, I'll let you know. We go slowly for a couple of days. Okay, after that, once you are good with minimum basic things, we'll go fast. So clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll discuss remaining things tomorrow by same time. Okay, bye.